An FDA investigator sits across from your quality manager and makes a single request: show me your training records. What happens next determines whether you walk away from that inspection with observations or a warning letter. Training record deficiencies are among the most frequently cited FDA 483 observations for medical device manufacturers year after year under the previous quality system regulation and under the QMSR that replaced it in February 2026. This video covers the 5 documentation gaps FDA investigators are specifically trained to find. The QMSR replaced 21 CFR Part 820 and harmonized with ISO 13485 2016. It introduced materially different documentation requirements, particularly around training records. Organizations that were compliant with the previous regulation are not automatically compliant with QMSR. The problem is rarely that companies fail to train their people. The problem is that their records cannot prove it in a way that satisfies an FDA investigator. Personnel competency records. A compliant training record must capture the exact document version trained on, the training method, the trainer, the date, and documented evidence of effectiveness. Attendance records alone are not sufficient. If your records cannot identify which revision of a procedure an employee was trained on, they cannot establish compliance at a specific point in time. Electronic training records must also comply with 21 CFR Part 11, a validated system with controlled access, a full audit trail, and compliant electronic signatures. A spreadsheet on a shared drive does not meet this requirement. CAPA training, corrective versus preventive separation. ISO 13485 and the QMSR treat corrective action and preventive action as distinct activities with distinct documentation requirements. Corrective action training is reactive. It responds to a non-conformance that already occurred and must be cross-referenced to the originating CAPA. Preventive action training is proactive. It responds to an identified risk before a non-conformance occurs and must reference the specific data that justified it. A single undifferentiated CAPA training log does not meet the requirement. And one critical date rule: training completion must precede CAPA effectiveness verification, not follow it. Management review and supplier audit training trails. Management review participants must have documented training on the QMS inputs they are responsible for evaluating, including QMSR transition training. Supplier auditors must have documented qualifications on file before conducting any independent audit. External consultants are not exempt. Their credentials must be retained in your QMS as well. Design control traceability. Design review records must document the qualifications of every participant and verify their independence from the design activity under review. Personnel conducting specialist activities, risk management, software development, human factors, biocompatibility, must have training records tied to the specific standards governing those activities. And when a design change is approved, any required training must be documented as part of the change record before that change is considered complete. Demonstrating good faith compliance progress. FDA investigators assess not only whether you have achieved full compliance, they assess whether you have pursued it systematically. A formal written gap assessment, a training program master plan, and a QMSR transition status summary give investigators auditable evidence of intentional compliance activity. Without these documents, a verbal explanation of your progress is all you have. 5 gaps, each one documented in the free QMSR training compliance checklist covering the requirements FDA investigators audit, with a priority matrix identifying the most frequently cited items first. Download link is in the description. eLeaP's integrated quality management system automatically links training records to CAPAs, document revisions, and design control activities. So every cross-reference exists at the time of the quality event, not reconstructed before an inspection. Demo request and free trial links are in the description below.